Alright. Alright, we seem to be going... We seem to be live.
Alright.
Yep. Alright, welcome to the sequel to episode 5, or the, I guess our second attempt at streaming Dungeons of Dredmor through, yeah. Well,
Second Life.
Yeah. It's, yeah. It came back
Procedural death. Procedural death stream.
Yeah, the procedural, yeah. The stream last week died very quickly after we tried to have multiple instances of the game running and going back and forth between like my game and Harrison's, and that seemed to kind of break in a really fascinating way. So this time I guess we're just going to try to go on my end, hope for the best. In an ideal world I'll get better internet at some point, but currently I don't think I can get any better internet out here with it spending a stupid amount of money, so I blame Bell. So yeah, I guess welcome back.
Wait, Bell's still a thing?
Bell Canada? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because
one of the only games in town.
it's like I think our Bell got absorbed by AT&T or something. Telecom in the US has a weird, complex history.
Yeah, it's... Were I not able to get unlimited bandwidth, I would not be with Bell, but they're able to... They were still offering it at the last chance, the last time I was upgrading, and so even the tech was just like, don't tell anybody that you did this, because technically they're not supporting that any further, and like you'll be grandfathered in, but whatever. So it's the internet is really strange, and I feel like I need to know more about, like I need to go and read more about all the terrible business practices that are taking place, because right now it's like the deal with Netflix and stuff like that, you know, getting preferential treatment from Comcast, I think. All that stuff is really skeevy.
Yeah. Alright, so this is Dungeons of Dredmor again.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, also, again, I'm Rob Parker. Part of the reason why I'm doing this Death of the Roguelike series is in preparation for the Canadian Game Studies Association conference in May, which I don't think I've actually officially announced it on the stream, but we have been accepted. So myself, Jason Horlack, Megan Adams, and Mark Juliette, I believe is his last name, are all presenting papers on, or presenting some kind of thing on death in video games, and so that's why I'm rambling about roguelikes as much as I am. And with me is a fellow Haystack. I always want to say hashtag, but it's Haystack Scholar.
Hello.
Harrison Massey?
Yes.
Okay. And
yeah. You nail it every time. Like
yeah,
you were
I try.
The few and the proud.
Yeah, and Haystack is a... I don't even know how to describe it because I don't really know what it is, and the instructor who is backing me owes me money. So I've not been doing a lot of stuff with Haystack, but I follow a bunch of people on Twitter, and I think that's how we wind up following each other.
Yeah, it's a digital humanities scholar organization / blog community / conference.
Yeah, I feel like if there was some way, like very easy way for me to mirror the stuff that I was writing about Death of the Roguelike to their site, it would be great. Otherwise, at some point I'll just wind up like posting a backlog of stuff. And,
yeah,
and then,
yeah. I was planning on writing a post for them at some point on working on this. So I don't know if you wanted to.
Well, and I'm unofficially talking about first-person scholar stuff on there, but it's been a while. Like we're pretty full up on submissions for first-person scholar, I think, for now, for the time being. Not saying that people should not send in submissions, but we're trying to reevaluate kind of our scheduling and stuff like that. But for a while, I was doing a semi-frequent posting of that. I should do one for a better discussant system that we've just added, where someone writes a thing, and then we get an expert within that field to write a response. We've got a bunch of really great people on board for it, so that's been really interesting. But yeah, anyways, this is Dungeons of Dredmor. This doesn't have an awful lot to do with Haystack or any other nonsense except for us bringing it to it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the purposes of this, I'm going to go with Elves Just Want to Have Fun, the difficulty level that is the easiest, mostly because I want to get deep into this, and I will probably be talking and not really thinking about what I'm doing and make a bunch of really dumb moves. I nearly killed myself when we were streaming last week, even when just by clicking random stuff. I will add permadeath on there because why not? And no time to grind, which I think is a really nice option, where you just get better experience, but like the floors are smaller, and I've added the Realm of the Diggle Gods, which if we get anywhere near Dredmor, I will be really astonished.
How deep is Dredmor?
I'm not sure. Isn't it like 10 or 15 levels? Like, I don't think it's not like hack levels of like 30 or whatever. Well, again, like when you're out playing No Time to Grind mode, the levels are also enormous. So, all right. So this is kind of the crux of the decision making in Dredmor, the skill selection. I'd say. Yeah, it definitely. I've seen some people make some real crazy builds. I think in my case, I might be a little bit more conservative and do swords. One of the things that really bothered me when this game first came out was if I didn't pick any of these, any weapon classes or weapon abilities, I was confused when I used any other weapon. And if I found an artifact that was more powerful than a sword or whatever, it was something that I wanted to keep using, it kind of hobbled it, and I was just kind of not doing real well as I was playing. So I'm going to pick swords to start off with. I'm going to pick Golemancy because I like having mobs following me around.
This is something we discussed last week.
Yeah, did you want to throw in
there? Yeah. So yeah, you play golems with golems in just about every game that will let you.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about Torchlight and the oh crap, I forgot the name of it. The
Diablo
Alchemist?
2 and Diablo 3. I definitely gravitated towards the Necromancer and the Shocker. Did you have any skills you wanted? Do you want to monkey wrench this?
Let's see. Communism wasn't that exciting. Let's do the banking one. What's it?
The which?
No, down and to the left. It's the
the bankster.
Yes. A bunch of derivatives, diversified stock portfolio, and no morals whatsoever. You'll probably want at least one crafting skill. I usually take 2.
Yep.
I'd go with smithing and tinkering. Let's do tinkering.
Okay. I'm gonna pick tourist because I think that the tourist class in NetHack is probably one of the most charming classes ever, even though I will never get anywhere with it, and I feel like I should pick some kind of...
let's do Necronomic the economy of the undead.
Yes. There's a...
I mean, since you are a bankster and a Golemancer, that just seems like there's synergy there.
Yeah. And since one of my favorite Canadian punk bands released a new single today, I will name myself after the vocalist Rich Ray.
Yeah, which band?
White Lung. They're I don't know if you've heard of Japandroids.
Yeah.
Okay. So they came out out of Vancouver, out of a smaller scene, a smaller sort of punk scene. And White Lung is mostly female. Yeah, Mishway, she also does music writing as well. And then there's just like crazy guitars, and then your standard kind of punk rock drum beats and bass work behind it. It's very fast moving and kind of samey, but in a very endearing way. So
you always start out here.
Yeah.
There's always a food vending machine. There's always a drink vending machine. There's either like an item or some sort of lever.
Yeah.
Right here.
So I currently, because of my starting skills, I started with a wooden sword because I had the sword skill. Robe, which I think that comes from being a tourist.
Is it? I figured it was from one of the magic classes.
Oh, could be. And a Golemancer's cap.
What you got in your inventory?
In my inventory, I've got My Little Anvil Junior Smithing Kit, disposable ingot press, tinkerer parts, portastill, plastic ore, 3 rubies, and 3 Reardon metal ingots.
And what's on your skill bar there?
Oh, down here I've got Animate Blade Being, Bring Some Malevolent Silverware to Life, Deathly Hex, blast your enemies into necromantic ablution with the Bolt of Evil and sap their life force if you're powerful enough. Be careful though, use of the spell curses the caster with nerve-searing, pain-racking death thingies. So I think with the necroeconomics or whatever it is.
Necronomiconomics.
Yes, necronomiconomics. What happens?
See how many times we can mess that up the street.
Yeah, it will happen frequently. The more you use those skills, the more you'll also unlock terrible horrors within the world, which kind of reminds me of Conquest of Elysium 3. Some of the factions will let you perform these rites to summon terrible demons, and the more that you cast those or engage in those rites, the more the world kind of becomes afflicted with these terrible horrors. And also, high interest loan. Take out a new line of credit from the First International Bank of Diggle today. Which I guess just means, like, if I want to get a bunch of Zork mids, which is the game's currency, I can and probably buy a bunch of stuff, but for now I'll just kind of...
But, actually, go ahead and use that. I want to see, maybe you get attacked by a bunch of Diggles if you use that or something.
Which, the
high interest loan.
Nope.
Alright,
110 Zork mids.
What's on your status bar over on the left, though? I think your character sheet's in the way of it.
Oh yeah, it is. Nothing.
Huh. So you get just 110 Zorn kids, no questions asked.
Yeah. That's
every 32 turns.
That sounds like that could be...
Yeah. So one of the things that frustrated me initially when I first played the Golemancer in this game is that animated silverware you get as your first skill.
It doesn't at all.
Yeah, well, it's not even really a golem. It's more of a trap. So you can use it to like set like some damage in between you and something coming at you, but it doesn't really feel like Golemancy. It feels like a trap class at first. Arcane address. Okay, you want me to write this one down?
Sure.
Okay. So these things, once we find the pocket dimension, this is an interesting way. It kind of allows you to carry learned things over from one game to another, because these codes will keep working. And they basically give you access to extra levels once you find this one particular item. Okay, I've got it.
Okay. For me, I guess just for a second to kind of finish off the Golemancy thing, the abilities opening, or the skills opening ability is not great, but the mustache being, which I think is the next level up,
is mustache
fantastic.
Golem.
It is kind of
and
really
adorable.
Powered.
And absolutely adorable.
Yes, and very cute. So there's, I guess one of the other things is every room in this game is named.
So right now we're in the Arcade of Taverns.
Yeah, and we started off in the Crypt of Books.
Totally random.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. Just adds a little flavor to it, though usually nonsensical.
The monolith glares at you ominously. So yeah, the UI in this game is a little bit wonky in terms of if you pick something up, it just immediately goes to the mouse, and then you have to...
I always change mine so it's swapped with the shift-click behavior. Oh, that's a special monster.
Siegfried. Yeah,
sometimes you'll find a lot named monsters. A lot of times the same ones over and over again, actually. Uh-oh. What are you cursed with?
So I use...
Oh, yay!
Yeah, I have Lingering Weakness and Minor Blood Debt.
Oh, that must be from your...
Yeah. So in 6 turns, my Minor Blood Debt will be gone, and the Lingering Weakness will be done in 92 turns. So... I'm going to learn animate mustache because that has been integral to keeping me alive. So there's my mustache golem.
Oh, it loves you.
He's very cute. Alright. And I've accidentally attacked it, which I didn't know that was a possibility.
I didn't either.
But I was playing earlier. Lockpicked. So I picked up lockpicks while we were talking a bit earlier, and they seem to be just kind of... You automatically pick the lock if you have any ability to do so.
Yeah, and sometimes it fails, but you can usually get it in 2 or 3 tries. It's not... It's basically just... I don't think the lock mechanism is really used to great effect in this game. It's like, I usually have way too many lockpicks to actually care.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very rare that I've run into problems where I need extras. I feel like that happened maybe earlier on.
Yeah,
like shortly after the game came out, there were times where I would run out, and it like made sense that I would pick the burglary class because you have an ability that just gives you a bunch of lockpicks.
Yeah, but
so yeah, I just clicked on the golem. So I guess we should mention that special word that we just wrote down, that's from... Oh, there's more mystical rupee over here. That's from the Wizardlands expansion?
Yeah, Conquest of the Wizardlands. Each code gives you access to a wizard land. And it's the same every playthrough, so you can... So even if you die, you can go back, and once you find the item that lets you use it, then you can always use the same codes over and over again, which is kind of it's a really interesting way to add learning to the game that really wasn't there before. Like you could maybe like learn some better strategies or try some different builds from game to game, but like most items are automatically identified. Like mushrooms, you can't really tell what they do, or identify them. But like pretty much everything, you can just like hover over it and see like what stat changes it's going to do, and there's no cursed items. It's a pretty safe game.
Yeah.
So this.
So I just clicked on a bookshelf a second ago, and it gives you some bookshelves will give you a kind of recipe that, if I recall correctly, like it still gets copied into a larger mechanic where you can, if you were crafting something, it'll just show up in that list. Like if I were to open up one of the smithing kits or whatever.
You go into the crafting, and you can, the recipes are always the same, but you can't use them in a game until you find them. Alright, I got that one.
Okay, cool. So we found another bit of... If I recall correctly, I think you find... Yeah. So bats ain't nothing. I'm sure we'll probably find a monster closet at some point, and that will probably spell the end of this character.
You usually don't find those until second level or so.
I feel like they sometimes crop up a bit more frequently if you're playing No Time to Grind. Or at least, in my experience, I've run into them pretty frequently when I've done that. But... So, yeah, on the upside, you also pick up gold as you walk over it. Or Zorkmids.
Yeah. It's got that typical thing of configurable auto loot if you want to bother with it.
Yeah. The part that I find really fascinating is, in literary studies, the idea that something is, dialogic or is very referential was kind of like a somewhat mind-blowing... Oh, God. There we go. A somewhat mind-blowing concept for a while. And with games, it's not even really that surprising. Like, there's some people will talk about like, oh, this game reflects postmodernism because it's very referential. But that's no longer really interesting to say that, I guess.
No.
I mean, Dungeons of Dredmor, I guess, really seems to bank on nostalgia because of its references to sort of roguelikes in the past, and then also, you know, you've got its currency is Zork Mids, which is completely a reference to Zork, the Underground Empire. Right,
but there's only like so many roguelike references. Like the humor is very accessible. Like they draw from all sorts of fantasy. They draw from movies. I mean, we just passed that. We're in
that country, so
yeah, baddie country.
And then you've got it on the bottom screen. Sometimes it animates, but it's probably not because we're on the level up screen. But yeah,
looks back and forth.
Yeah, looks back and forth. Like it's very much the Doom layout.
Yeah.
All right, so tourists, relax and unwind. This just gives you some basic stats.
Yeah. Health and mana regeneration.
See the sights. Increase the range of your vision. Dump toxic assets. This is the banker's one. Some investments are simply no good. Make them someone else's responsibility. This dumps any bankster-related penalties onto your target and deals toxic damage based on your caddishness.
So whenever you get into blood debt, you can give that to someone else.
Yeah. Seems like it. And so caddishness is the primary attribute for the pirate and revolves around not caring about the feelings of others. It affects critical hit and counterattack.
Did you ever play Guild Wars?
Sorry?
Did you that bankster blood? Did you ever play Guild Wars?
No.
This game is actually kind of reminding me of that a little bit, because there was a class where I think it was either the Necromancer or the Mesmer, but there was so Guild Wars you could only ever equip 8 skills at a time. So there was this, kind of almost like trading card game-esque sense of collecting skills and then finding interesting ways to combine them. But there were things where you could just load yourself up with your own problems, and load it and then give them all to your target. So you'd have all these debuffs. So that feels like that kind of really interesting kind of, I'm going to hurt myself and then offload that onto you, but I'm prepared to deal with it and you're not.
Huh.
So there's parallels for me in this, in that you have 7 skills you can select. They all have a different tree, but they're all going to interact in different ways. Maybe in a less direct sense.
Yeah.
But again, like I was talking about this being the crux, and a lot of roguelikes, it's like, okay, I want to start over from the beginning, and then I'm going to learn new play strategies. And Dredmor seems to take the focus a lot off of that and more onto creating interesting skill combinations and builds.
Yeah.
And there's still some learning.
Yeah, I think what this does really is help manage the procedurality of a roguelike, that you don't necessarily have to be as contingent as you need to be in NetHack, for example. Whereas NetHack, it's just whatever you want. Like, you have a basic idea of what you're going to get, but if you pick a monk, and part of being a monk is following a vegetarian lifestyle. I may be talking about on NetHack because I've been playing more frequently, so I don't know if the monk is actually a class in NetHack proper, but
it is. But I don't think they're required to follow a vegetarian lifestyle.
Okay, well, you're not required to, but you benefit from unarmed combat and not really wearing a lot of armor, and you also benefit from having a vegetarian lifestyle. And as the trade-off is you get intrinsics much more quickly than you would otherwise. So it's I don't know, I got actually pretty decent far with a monk.
But there's no indication that that's going to happen to you.
And
whereas this, you can look ahead at the skill tree.
Absolutely. And you may not necessarily, you may wind up finding nothing but really good weapons. And so at a certain point, okay, do I discard the benefits of this class and take these weapons and work with what I've got, or do I still continue to try to hope that things are going to work out okay? And I feel like Dungeons of Dredmor, there's a full upgrade tree that you know what to shoot for. You see what all those effects are. So it's like, well, okay, this tree may not be very useful, but the last one, like digging ray, is super powerful. So I want to get that, and so I want to get that as soon as possible. So I'm going to just level up and just pour all of my skills into Golemancy, and forget all the other abilities. I feel like it lets you kind of manage yourself a little bit better than NetHack. Like I guess it promotes a more, or I guess it promotes a slightly less contingent play style. Just walk on the ground because.
But at the same time, if you're not playing on no time to grind, games tend to move a lot slower. So it feels like the cost of dying, or at least the related frustration, is higher than something like NetHack. So there's a bit of a trade-off there.
That's true. Did my mustache golem go away?
Yeah, I think he. Nope, just lost.
Stuck.
Why are you on the other side of that mode? I love you.
Yeah.
Come back to me. Yay!
Randomly created levels at work. So you also get experience for pretty much everything in this game. Like smashing a statue will get you experience.
For heroic vandalism.
Yeah, picking a lock, you'll get experience for that.
Which is more in line with something like really like this feels less like something like NetHack and more like Baldur's Gate even almost, except you're one person and there's permadeath.
There's also multiple staircases already across these two.
Yeah, it's really easy to go up and down between levels. And those are all teleporters, or ways to get around levels really easily. Like what's it called? What's it? A satanic displacement glyph?
Yes, the teleporters, which always scared the hell out of me because I always wind up teleporting in the middle of a bunch of monsters. Also, the ground is just lousy with items. I think that's largely because I'm picking no time to grind.
Even then, they're pretty frequent. So inventory management is a thing until you find the lost wizard key, which gives you a room you can access and just dump all your excess items in.
I don't even think I've ever encountered that. So.
It's pretty key in the conquest of the Wizard Lands because that's the item you need to use the magical graffiti codes.
Oh, okay, so maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so
I've
used
to like just drop stuff off.
Yeah, it used to be kind of a rare, harder item to find, but I think with Conquest of the Wizard Lands they made it so you can pretty much always find it on the first level.
Oh, great. It reads, "What does being fair have to do with anything?"
Yeah. I don't know if it's showing up on the stream, but the enemies will constantly taunt you.
Yep.
As well. Usually with ones with insults borrowed from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or Secret of Monkey Island.
There's a heavy Secret of Monkey Island reference or emphasis in this game. Oh wow.
Yeah, you get an achievement for walking over 50 traps.
Oh. It's testament.
There's 120 achievements for this game too, which is really more of a invitation to experiment than a lot of times the actual game gives you.
Yeah.
You actually get an achievement for having the game crash on you.
Really?
Yeah. If the game crashes, you get an achievement called "Suddenly the Dungeon Collapses." And it says this is our way of saying thank you for participating in our voluntary quality assurance program.
That's fantastic.
But you get an achievement every time you max out a skill tree, which since there's a ton of skills, that's a ton of achievements. Achievement for all the different difficulty levels. Achievement for all the different difficulty levels plus permadeath.
Alright, what do you recommend now?
Let's see what you got. You got see the sights. that gives you a chance to do like extra damage with the sword attack periodically.
Yeah, and I haven't found any weapons that have been really moving me, so I'm not.
Yeah. Have you found a lot of crafting supplies?
I've got a fair bit. I don't.
Let's see.
Yeah, I've got.
Let's see. If you've got plenty of ores,
yeah,
do you have iron? Or, do you have at least 2 or 3 iron or steel?
I've got 1 tin.
Never mind.
And 3 metal ingots.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. And grated cheese.
What can you use the grated cheese for? I've never actually found a use for it.
I could not tell you.
I think it might be some like secret potion. Maybe. I don't know. I know you can grind down the rusty swords into rust, which lets you brew healing potions if you're an alchemist. Okay, I still haven't figured out what the deal with the runes is either, and I haven't spoiled myself on the wiki yet. All I know is that if you put them in those slots in different combinations, you'll get different vending machines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was to open the door.
No. Yeah, okay, so, did you use your skill point?
I did not.
Okay. Go ahead and get yourself a smithing. For one thing, it actually also ups your damage, so...
Oh, cool. Or something like traps, but yeah.
Yeah, so, and then is there iron or steel that you can buy? Because we're going to make you a better sword.
Alright, brass. And that's about it. Brass pipe.
Go ahead and get that Hordretic Lutefisk cube.
Because it's 0.
Because nobody likes Lutefisk.
No.
I explained what Lutefisk is in the last stream. It's, no, we did this before. It's fish that has been soaked in lye until it's gelatin-like, and then rinsed, and then had all the lye rinsed out of it, so it's safe to eat. So you have this you take perfectly good fish and then turn it into this disgusting, tasteless, gelatin-like thing, and pretty much everyone hates it, but it's considered a traditional dish in certain areas. All right, so
yeah, I actually have the Lutefisk Cube T-shirt from these guys.
Nice. So if you put things in the Hordretic Lutefisk cube, like the original cube in Diablo, it stores your items, but unlike the original cube, it turns them all into Lutefisk.
Yep. I like that they just have someone yell "Skull" in the background. Alright, it's enough. So you'll find a shrine that demands Lutefisk, and
so you can like turn things into Lutefisk, give that to the shrine, and then like every time you tithe a certain amount of Lutefisk, you get some sort of special item, and it will tell you that it smells like fish.
So I've also just picked up a gelatinous wand. And if I recall correctly, the wands are also randomized in this game. Like
I've never been able to tell if they're randomized or because like the what's it? Like the what do they call the ice magic in this game? There it is, the Lost Wizard keys.
Yep.
Property of Mietro, Master Warlock, not allowed to do parties anymore, rates astronomical. So if you click that little door down there...
Yeah, I just wanted to kill that gnome and get some lockpicks. Yeah, this game also, and I think part of what it does to mitigate... It does several things to mitigate the permadeath thing. One, it lets you turn it off entirely if you want.
Right.
But it also just packs every room with loot. So any given playthrough where things don't go your way, like if you start again and you wander through a couple rooms, you're going to wind up packed with a bunch of really crazy, interesting stuff.
Right. Well, okay.
Gaga's Glaze. I did not realize that was
Have you? Yeah, you can encrust. You can encrust items.
Suit. All right, so yeah, here we go. I just clicked.
You can encrust items now with one of the expansions. So they're okay. So not only do you have your own little pocket dimension where you can just drop items here and they'll stay here, and time doesn't pass. So, but also if you go up to that portal, which as soon as you're done dumping items, we can. Let me get that.
Let me switch it for speed. So the control panel.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where
this is where that mystical graffiti comes in. So if you type in T.
Yep.
WYIZ. RHOG. RKULL. Engage.
Engage.
There's always so many references. Okay, it's never been read for me. I don't think I wrote that down wrong. Go ahead and hop through.
Well, it's loading something. Don't you crash on me?
Yep. With the achievement?
Perfect.
Okay, you are. Oh my god.
Yeah, I may be dead. I'm gonna animate a mustache.
Yeah, stay away from the muscle diggles. They will super murder you.
It's just supposed to be my day off. I seem to be in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
Except for, the whole.
Yeah, I drink and eat something.
I died. I got one-shotted by a thirsty diggle.
Wow. Okay.
Its HP was 3 times my HP.
Okay. So I will. What was that called? The portly heart.
Yeah, the portly heart.
Portly heart. I'm just gonna write down a note. Don't enter without lots of health.
Yeah. Yeah, they myrtleized my mustache being too.
Okay, well now we know that for next playthrough.
Yeah, poor Mitch. Yeah, and also one of the things that I love about this game is that when you die, it congratulates you. She ventured like a wisdom. So there'll be an epitaph that's typically procedurally generated.
That was Diggle Hell.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so the Portly Heart was the room, and we were in Diggle Hell. Okay.
Good to know.
That's a place we probably don't ever want to go again.
Yeah.
Anytime soon.
Typically those so yeah, most of my characters have been named Barf Golem or Nick.
Why Neck?
It's a
long story.
Yeah, long story.
Okay.
My cat's dismantling my desk behind me.
That sounds normal for cats.
Yeah. Alright, well, in honor of the cat that you will be hearing meow, this one Mina. Alright. I'm gonna pick Golomancy again, because we'll get real far with that. Stick with swords. Or do you wanna... I like the Bankster one. That seems interesting.
Yeah. the big game hunter's really fun.
Which one's that?
The one with the that's the woman with the sword up and to the right.
Oh, there we go. And
Math and magic isn't that fun in my experience. Go with the dodging one.
the Artful Dodger.
Artful Dodger. It's second row. Next to the Berserker. Let's grab Alchemy this time.
Alright. Yeah, I've very rarely...
Alchemy's really fun.
Alchemy stuff. Heresy. Alright, let's go with Viking Wizardry.
It's one of my favorites.
There. Are you happy now? One of the nights that I was streaming, Mina basically sat outside the door and meowed for like 2 hours. To the point where my wife was just like, "Why did you have to pick the most annoying cat?" I was like, "Well, that's why I picked her."
If it's any consolation, I have a friend whose cat almost set his apartment on fire.
What?
Yeah, it managed to turn on the stove, and there was a silicone trivet sitting on it. So at like 6:30 in the morning, his apartment was filled with this awful smelling smoke.
Great.
So you don't have that cat. So
yeah, thankfully.
Yeah. All right. So we have some things to work with here. We have some powered aluminum.
Yeah, my starting skills again: high interest loan, power of magic steel.
Yeah, just turn that one on and don't turn it off.
Okay.
Gives you lightning resistance and lightning damage.
Oh wow.
Along with a couple of other things. And it will automatically renew itself every 6 turns.
Cool. So
every now and then you basically just have to drink some alcohol to re-up your mana.
Yeah, I did not drink any alcohol last time, so that works out.
Yeah.
I was going to say a thing I don't remember.
So how this game does health and mana restoration is kind of interesting. It's like, so unless you have like a potion to work with, which is why we grabbed alchemy, you can eat or drink and it restores gradually over time.
Yeah.
It is a bit easier, it's a bit friendlier, but in that it gives you health and mana restoration items all the time. But you have to be careful. You do have to be careful and plan a little bit, because if you're like, oh, I'm at 2 health, I need to eat something, then the next turn you're just going to have 3 health and you're going to be dead.
Mm-hmm. So we've actually found the Lutefisk statue, which across the top just says Lutefisk for the Lutefisk god. If I recall, if you eat Lutefisk, it kills you, right?
It only gives you like 2 nutrition, and it like gives you some other detrimental effect, like just from how nasty it tastes. Anyways, mustache golem.
I have tithed many Lutefisk. There have been times where I like, if I didn't have a certain crafting skill or whatever, I went through the dungeon with the Herodric Lutefisk cube and just
I always do that.
Transmuted everything.
Yeah. If it doesn't have resale value, I transmute it. Alright.
Oh, this is the same one.
Yeah, no. We are... Oh, no, it's not. That's a different one.
It's a little bit different.
Hopefully not also horrifying and Diggle related. Okay.
Did you get it?
Yep.
Okay. I feel like we might not get a chance to get deeper.
I can usually get to level 3 or 4 before I die. But I also always play with the archaeology, which helps me level up really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, the part of the, like, I normally do as well, and that's part of the reason why I'm not playing with it right now.
Yeah.
So...
Crulio the Nebulous Lutefisk. So we have a legendary wooden sword.
Which is just kind of, to be honest, slightly better than a regular wooden sword, but...
It's still better.
Yeah. I've never seen a teleporter that was like this.
They added it in one of the expansions.
Oh, yeah, probably. I played this game very intensely when it came out, so it's interesting to go back to it because I feel like I'm playing a different game in a lot of ways. And again, super interested to see what Gaslamp does next.
Do they have anything in the works?
They do. Clockwork Empires, I think, is what it is. It sounds like it might be like Dwarf Fortress-ish.
Except not brutally painful.
Yeah, well, it seems like, obviously they have some fine art people at their disposal, so it'll probably look alright.
Yeah, I'm talking less than it. I mean, the interface is like half the challenge, but the other half of the challenge is just keeping your damn doors alive.
Yeah, and at a certain point, you're kind of, I don't know. I've always hit the point where with Dwarf Fortress where it was like, I can.
Oh hey, shop.
I can have a self-sufficient fortress, but then I kind of get bored. One sparkling glove. It holds magic in its palm. Yes, just the one. Which has to be a reference to Michael Jackson Moonwalker.
Oh yeah.
I refuse to believe otherwise.
I've never actually played Moonwalker.
I played it at a friend's house when it was out, and was really excited about it. To the point where when I wound up getting a Genesis of my own, I insisted upon getting it. Oh, okay. I was gonna fight that.
It is.
But there's a whole bunch of stuff here, so.
Yeah.
That game is really weird. And in hindsight, it's even weirder that you're wandering around saving a bunch of children that ride it on these weird phallic comets.
Oh god.
It's deeply unfortunate when you look at the kind of historical trajectory of.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you wanted to make a Moonwalker roguelike for the 7-day roguelike challenge, but in light of that comment, let's just stick with the kaiju one we were talking about.
Yeah.
If you missed this,
yeah.
If you missed this, we were talking on Twitter about making a roguelike for the 7-day roguelike challenge, which is next week. It's my spring break. I don't know about you.
We already had a reading week, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like I still have a day job, so.
Yeah.
Even if I had a spring break, it would not. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got stuff to do here, but I figure just try and hack on it like 1 or 2 days in the week. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were talking about making a roguelike where you play as a pedestrian in a kaiju film and have to survive for as long as you can.
Yep. I feel like that would be brilliant. I don't know.
I'm not sure how that worked mechanically. Like, as far as like, are we just going to have a monster that's just a foot going through everything, falling buildings?
I would probably look
at
vandalism. The way Dwarf Fortress handles its terrible monstrosities. But yeah, I'm not sure. That would be a difficult thing to code. I hope that someone who is perhaps way better at coding, or like actually knows how to do any kind of code, would potentially do like that tweet actually got a bunch of retweets. So hopefully someone who was sitting there not quite sure what they were going to do. Shortly after that tweet, I got a direct message from Lars Doucette, so hopefully maybe Lars saw that and is participating in that. Yeah, that would be a.
Okay, go to Big Game Hunter. I think is a good one to take next.
Butcher.
But yeah, you'll get steaks and meat cubes and stuff as drops from animal kills.
Great. The Big Game Hunter makes me think that they just played a lot of Monster Hunter and wanted to do a skill set for that.
Yeah, but if it was Monster Hunter though, like they'd have some like sword that was like twice as large as they were, and
yeah, that's right.
Also an armor made out of jaggies.
Yeah. Yeah, I spent Valentine's Day weekend basically alternating between Tokiden, which just kind of came out, and Monster Hunter 3. And
I so wish that had online play.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. Yeah.
Well, Monster Hunter Ultimate does on the Wii U.
Right, and then you can like connect through that and kind of do it.
Yeah.
In this weird hack-a-night way. Yeah. But you and I both have the 3DS version, so.
Well, I actually do have a Wii U, but I did go down the path because I was interested in seeing how they did the. I was able to get it for cheap at one point, and I wanted to see how they did the save game transfer. It actually handles itself pretty well. Like I was out of town for that weekend, so it worked out in my favor that I was generally playing on my 3DS. But yeah, Monster Hunter 4 comes out 2015, and that should have online play.
Is it already out in Japan?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I never played a Monster Hunter game before, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and this just turned into a Monster Hunter stream.
There's no shame in that. Actually, no, there is a shame in that because Aaron probably has... He probably has his headphones and... Okay, I'm just getting probably out track. So, yeah, he probably has his headphones, and he could hypothetically be contributing a significant more than I would be right now.
Yeah.
He and I have had a standing thing on the weekend to just play a bunch of hours of Tukiden, which has been nice. It's pretty good. If you've got a Vita, it's got online.
I do not.
It's
Golden Axe. Oh god. This game.
Constant metal Orby staff. Oh yeah, one of the things I was going to say that I really liked about this game was its description for powdered aluminum. Powdered aluminum is a strictly controlled substance in Dwarven society.
Oh my gosh.
And I think you can just consume it if you want. It doesn't do anything, I don't think, but
wow.
Yeah, you can just consume it as though it were chopping some lines.
Like there's all these references, like kind of side references to indicate that there is some sort of greater world here, but it's never really explicitly delineated. And you're always just left to wonder, like, why is there a lutefisk god? Why have all the doors made all these horrifying robots and also snort aluminum?
Yeah.
Like,
if I were a dwarf, I'd probably do that too. So there we go. We finally saw the mustache golem at work. Oh, come on. I know you love me. I need...
It's trying to save you from the lutefisk. It's like, no, that stuff tastes nasty. Why do you want to walk toward this?
What am I doing? There we go. And the problem is, I'm afraid to click on it because if I do...
You'll attack it?
I will just attack it. There we go.
Yeah, I kind of wish what it just did what it doesn't. Oh yeah, those can shoot through walls if you fail the trap.
That's really
check, by the way.
Alright, so do we
do
we forge Kroliu?
Let's forge Kroliu. Wrong is pleased. Oh, that's nice. And it infects our rat enemies with Thaumites. Nice.
Alright. Great.
Oh, yeah, so basically poisons them.
Awesome.
Little bug things.
Oh, hey. Oh, that butcher... Oh, the butcher thing came into play, so...
Yeah, so you get a steak.
So I can make a meat suit.
How low is your nimbleness that you keep failing those trap checks?
I'm not sure. That seems...
Like, usually... Although I always play as the archaeologist, I think the archaeology adds, like, trap check adds to your trap disarming. Mm-hmm. So that's probably why we're having such a hard time here. I also haven't figured out, like, you can get like 20 different kinds of cheese in this game.
Yeah, they really love their cheese, and it's admirable their commitment to the amount of cheese that is in this game. And apparently, I'm a pus-filled abscess, according to this white.
Well, what does it know?
There we go. Statue of Inconsequentia.
Let's pray to Inconsequentia, the goddess of side quests.
The monster Sirwalm the Thoughtless Communism and his horde of underlings, Lord Dredmor's 72nd flank, the crepuscular poisons must be defeated.
I really want to see their database of adjectives and nouns that they use to name things.
It truly is a beautiful thing. Just in terms of... I think, yeah, that's part of what I like about this game, is just, it's it's sheer audacity in terms of some of that stuff. Like,
this is not like that monolith you just passed. That is not the only 2001 reference in this game.
no.
And it has zero shame. Like, it's like, yeah, this is technically a fantasy dungeon crawling game, but you know, we're gonna throw sci-fi stuff and maybe, you know, and political stuff and maybe like a Law and Order reference even.
Yeah.
I swear I've seen one in here somewhere.
There's a CSI one, I think.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh yeah,
CSI
there's like
Miami where you've got sunglasses.
yeah, sunglasses. Yeah. That's kind of the easy one.
All right.
You want to get some potion crafting stuff maybe?
Sure.
Let's let's open up your crafting menu and see what you can make. So if you could, one of the nice things about this is you can go to you have some filters at the top there, so you can just see which things you have ingredients for.
Great.
So you can make some oil of vitriol. You make a mana potion, and you can also, if you use the portastill, make more base ingredients. So like you can combine various alcohols into more refined alcohols, which will let you make so if you make the pear brandy.
Yeah, I've already got 2 apparently.
Yeah, no, you have the pear wine, so you make the pear brandy. You can then turn that pear brandy into aqua vitae and use that as a potion base.
Oh, okay.
Same with the dwarven gut rot. Actually, I played with alchemy a lot.
I see. And then
So yeah,
I can
so
make
if you
some
go back,
Diggle-Nog as well.
yeah, that was like the Christmas update back when they were one of the games with the special Christmas achievements.
Oh yeah, I think I got that achievement too.
Yeah. So yeah, if you open your alchemy kit back up, you should have a few more options.
Apparently not. Oh wait.
Or no, they are on the portastill right now. Or no, let's see. Make the oil of vitriol. I forget what you can build off of that, but no, okay. Oh wait, yeah, I know what the problem is. You don't have it. You have to have empty flasks to make throwable potions.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have to find some plastic cores.
All right. I can make ground meat.
Yeah, I haven't figured out what you do with that either. And you can make grated cheese out of one of the seven different types of cheeses you have.
Yeah, this game is fantastic.
I think there's a cheese shop, Monty Python cheese shop reference somewhere in one
There
of the
has to
skill
be.
trees
If
or
there
something.
isn't, they've missed the boat. That's. Oh, there's.
Oh no, I think it's one of the achievements.
One of the weird problems with this game is the perspective.
Yeah, like they do a good job of like showing you sparkles when something's hidden behind something,
Yeah.
but it's like that same problem I've always had with like Falcon's Eye and the various like 3D net hacks.
Yeah, you see static screenshots of those, and you're like, hey, that looks like something that I would want to use. And then I've used like was it Falcon Necklace of
Falcon's Eye is like the Falcon's Eye is like the main original one. I think it's got a couple of forks. Oh, hey, there's those empty flasks you needed.
Where?
Like that Diggle standing on them.
Oh, got it. Okay. My therapist says this will be good for me.
Parmigiano Reggiano. There's our tea. Oh crap! I gotta get out of here in like 5 minutes. I didn't realize it's so.
Yeah, we'll. I feel like we've covered a lot of this game, so like I know we didn't get deep, but
we can do that another time.
yeah, there's always.
So this is one of my critiques of this game, I guess, is it gets kind of repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the early levels. Like, I think once you get down farther, there's some more interesting stuff. But like, the first three levels or so, it's just run around, grab items, kill stuff, sell items, dump excess in your pocket dimension, repeat.
Yeah. And the pocket dimension's a really nice touch, actually. Now that I know that exists. All right, let's craft anything extra. Weird.
Yeah.
I just picked up some extra stuff, but yeah, the art style changes. I feel like there's a whole Doom themed level as well. Oh, I didn't even finish the Inconsequentia side quest, but usually that means that you'll get like some kind of artifact if you finish the side quest. I love that they kind of
which I usually wind up sending it to the museum with the archaeologist ability.
Yeah, yeah. If you have no use for it, absolutely.
Yeah. Because then you get what that does is it gives you its value in experience points.
Yeah.
So you just like do all the Inconsequentia stuff, get all the artifacts, turn it into experience points, and you just level like, about 1.5 times as fast as you would normally.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's a really good beginner one if you're looking to try. Archaeologist is a really good beginner skill if you're looking to try this game out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Every time I've played this game, I've typically, if I have not started with the archaeologist, I have to think real long and hard about whether I wanted to not pick that, because it's just a really useful starting skill. But anyways, yeah, I'm pretty, like, I feel like we've been going for a while, so
yeah, all right.
I'm pretty good with leaving it here for now. I'm gonna save and quit.
Yeah. So if you missed it, we have a Twitter account now. It's at DOT Roguelike. So if you have a game you want us to check out in a future episode, that you feel would be interesting, tweet us there.
Yeah, or tweet either of us as well.
Yeah. He's at Robot Parking.
Yeah, I'm at Robot Parking. You're
at I Am About Us, which I'll probably change once I graduate, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got a list as long as my arm in terms of games I would love to get to.
Yeah.
Tales of Magil is obviously on there. Ultima Ratio Regnum looks really interesting, but there's not enough there yet.
Yeah.
Same thing with Dungeon of the Endless. I need to spend some time with Arkan's Bionic Dunes.
Yeah. Let's see, Prism, the one we were talking about before. I've dealt.
Prime.
Prime, right? Prime, not Prism. Prism's something else. Ugh. Yeah, Prime is interesting. It's also a little. It's a little Dredmor in that it's just this combination of sci-fi tropes. Yeah. You fight stormtroopers, red shirts, and facehuggers sometimes on the same level.
Yeah.
But more net hacking and some mechanics.
Yeah, and there's a zillion stuff, there are a zillion games out there. I'm not quite sure if it necessarily slots in with it, but I just saw the trailer for Power Hoof's game Crawl. It looks like a multiplayer kind of dungeon crawling game.
I've heard good things about that one.
It looks like the trailer looks phenomenal. That like you can, one person can play as a ghost and basically animate certain things and come back as certain monsters, and the other person, or I think it's up to 4 people. Anyways, it looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come out in the first 6 months of 2014, so we're working through that. So.
In a couple of weeks, we'll probably be doing a 7-day roguelike episode. With what comes out of that. Maybe 3 weeks. Give us some time to sort through.
And literally a week from now, I will be playing Dark Souls 2. And
wow, it's coming out that soon?
Yeah. It's next week.
I need to get off my butt and play Dark Souls 1.
Well, I'm going to get Megan Adams from First Person Scholar, if she's interested. I got to talk to her a little bit more about it, but she's part of the panel and has written about Dark Souls, so I might be able to get her in on doing a stream. I think most of her saves are on consoles, so I gotta talk to her about that and see if she's interested in coming in. And yeah, I guess that does it for episode 5.
Yeah. Well, are we streaming this Thursday or next Thursday?
I might do something this Thursday with M on Desktop Dungeons, but it should be pretty low key.
Yeah, it's
It may not even actually be this Thursday. Maybe over the weekend.
All right. So next, but we will resume at our normal time next Thursday.
Yeah. So a week from this coming Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be March 40th. Something like that.
March 13th.
Yes, March 13th.
Follow the Twitter.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter. That's where most of the conversations happen.
All right.
All right.
Until next time.
Yeah. Take care.
Stay alive.